What if Order 66 was never executed? Let's explore the depths of it in the video. The holocommunicator flickers to life across 1,000 battlefields scattered throughout the galaxy. The transmission carries a single, devastating command that echoes through the neural pathways of millions of clone troopers. Execute Order 66. On the sinkhole planet of Utapau, Commander Cody stands on a rocky outcropping, his DC-15 amperes blaster rifle resting against his shoulder. The wind howls through the massive crater where General Grievous made his final stand just hours before. Below him, General Kenobi rides away on Boga, the loyal Varactyl lizard carrying him toward the next objective. Cody's targeting reticle centers perfectly on the Jedi Master's back. His finger moves to the trigger, the muscle memory of 1,000 battles guiding the motion. But then, something happens. A sharp, stabbing pain lances through his skull like a vibroblade thrust into his brain. His vision blurs. The order repeats in his mind, mechanical and cold, but his finger refuses to move. The trigger remains untouched. Cody staggers, his hand flying to his helmet. What is happening? The compulsion is there, screaming at him to fire, to eliminate the Jedi. But some deeper part of him, some core of who Commander Cody truly is, resists. Sweat beads on his forehead beneath the helmet. His breathing becomes ragged, but he does not fire. Across the galaxy on the Wookiee homeworld of Kashyyyk, the ancient Roshar trees tower hundreds of meters into the humid air. Clone Commander Gree moves silently through the underbrush, his DC-17 hand blaster drawn and ready. Ahead, Master Yoda sits in meditation on a fallen log, his eyes closed, his small form seemingly oblivious to the danger approaching from behind. Gree's orders are clear. Execute Order 66. Eliminate the Jedi. His arm raises, the blaster's barrel aimed at the back of Yoda's head. One shot. That's all it would take. One clean shot, and the ancient Jedi Master would fall. But Gree's hand trembles. The order pounds in his skull like a drum, each beat demanding obedience, but his finger won't squeeze the trigger. Pain explodes behind his eyes. His vision swims. He sees flashes, memories of fighting beside Master Yoda, of the Jedi Master's wisdom and compassion, of battles won together. These memories clash with the mechanical imperative, trying to override his will. Gree stumbles backward, his blaster lowering. What is this order? Why does it feel so wrong? Lieutenant Drax approaches, his own weapon raised, but he too seems confused, disoriented. The clones exchange glances behind their helmets, both struggling against the same invisible force, trying to take control of their actions. On the fungal world of Felucia, Jedi Master Ayla Secura leads her battalion through the dense, bioluminescent jungle. The plants glow with soft purples and blues, casting eerie shadows across the massive mushroom trees. Her commander, Bly, has always been professional, dedicated, a soldier she trusts implicitly. They fought through dozens of campaigns together, shared victories and losses, developed the kind of battlefield trust that only comes from surviving impossible odds side by side. But now, Bly and his men stop in their tracks. Their weapons rise slowly, almost mechanically. Ayla senses the disturbance in the force before she sees the barrels pointed at her back. She turns, confusion on her blue-skinned face, but there's no time to react. Except the triggers don't pull. Bly's finger freezes. His men stand like statues, weapons raised but not firing. Sweat drips down inside their helmets. One trooper drops to his knees, clutching his head. Another's weapon wavers, the barrel dipping and rising, as if controlled by two opposing forces. Ayla steps forward carefully, her hand moving to her lightsaber hilt, but not drawing it. Commander Bly. What's happening? Bly's voice comes through his helmet speaker, strained and pained. General, I don't know. There's an order in my head. It's telling me to kill you, but I can't. I won't. Something's wrong with this order, General. Something's very wrong. On the crystalline world of Megito, Ki Adi Mundi deflects blaster fire from droid forces. When he notices his clone troopers have stopped firing, they stand motionless, weapons drooping. One by one, they begin to collapse, clutching their helmets. On Cato Neimoidia, Plo Koon banks his starfighter through the high-altitude bridges when his clone wingmen break formation. Their ships wobble in the air, pilots struggling with something unseen. On Salukami, Stas Ali brings her speeder bike to a halt as her escort clones gun their engines but don't fire. Every battlefield across the galaxy tells the same story. Order 66 has been transmitted, but the inhibitor chips designed to ensure absolute compliance are malfunctioning. Some chips barely activate, producing nothing more than a mild headache. Others engage partially, creating that terrible internal struggle between programmed directive and personal will. A handful of chips function fully, and in those cases, Jedi fall. But the vast majority of chips fail completely, or produce only confusion and pain. The result is chaos, but a chaos that saves thousands of Jedi lives. In the depths of the Coruscant Senate building, Supreme Chancellor Palpatine sits in his private office, surrounded by holographic displays showing battlefields across the known galaxy. His yellow eyes, usually hidden behind a veneer of kindly old statesman, now burn with unveiled malice as he watches the reports flood in. Clone Commander. 1138 reports inhibitor chip malfunction on Ryloth. Clone Commander 8826 reports severe headaches and inability to comply with Order 66 on Umbara. Clone Commander 5385 reports that his men have informed the Jedi of the order on Ord Mantell. Palpatine's withered hands clench the armrests of his chair hard enough to crack the expensive wood. Centuries of planning, decades of manipulation, years of careful positioning, all of it designed to culminate in this one perfect moment when the Jedi Order would be eliminated in a single, coordinated strike. And now, his perfect plan unravels in real time before his eyes. He slams his fist on the console. The impact-sending hairline cracks through the hollow projector. The inhibitor chips, designed by the Kaminoans under his secret direction, were supposed to be foolproof. Organic behavioral modification chips implanted in the clones during their flash training, designed to override free will and ensure absolute obedience to specific contingency orders. Order 66 was the crown jewel, the order that would eliminate the Jedi. But something has gone wrong. Perhaps it was the rushed production toward the end of the war. Perhaps it was sabotage from Kaminoan scientists who began to suspect the true purpose of the chips. Or perhaps Palpatine thinks with a chill that has nothing to do with the temperature. The Force itself has intervened. He brings up a secure channel to Kamino, his voice a harsh rasp. Lama Su, what have your people done? The Kaminoan Prime Minister appears in holographic form. his long neck swaying slightly. "Chancellor, we are receiving reports of widespread chip malfunctions. This should not be possible. The chips were tested extensively. I do not understand how this could happen unless there was interference during the final production runs." Interference? Sabotage, you mean? The Prime Minister's large eyes blink slowly. Some of our scientists expressed concerns about the chip's true purpose. It's possible they introduced subtle flaws into the manufacturing process. Flaws that would only become apparent upon activation. Palpatine's face contorts with rage. "You assured me these chips were perfect. You assured me the clones would obey without question. And now thousands of Jedi still live. My clone army has not turned. And worst of all, they are beginning to ask questions." The call ends abruptly. Palpatine rises from his chair and moves to the viewport, staring out at the endless cityscape of Coruscant. He can feel it through the Force, the disturbance spreading across the galaxy like ripples in a pond. Jedi sensing danger. Clones reporting the order to their generals. His carefully constructed web beginning to tear apart strand by strand. But Sheev Palpatine did not orchestrate the fall of the Republic by having only one plan. He is Sith. He is patient. He is adaptable. And he still has cards to play. He activates his personal communicator using an encrypted channel known only to his most trusted operatives. "Commander Fox, this is the Chancellor. Execute emergency protocol Crimson Dawn. I want full lockdown of the Coruscant Senate District. No one enters or leaves without my direct authorization." On Mustafar, he contacts another figure. Lord Vader's armor gleams in the hologram. Though in this timeline, Vader does not yet exist. The message goes instead to Commander Appo at the Jedi Temple. "Commander, new orders. I am declaring the Jedi Order an enemy of the Republic. They have attempted a coup. Secure the temple. Allow no one to leave." Across the galaxy, Palpatine's backup plans activate. He cannot eliminate all the Jedi at once now, but he can still seize control. He can still turn the public against them. He can still win, but he needs time, and that is the one resource suddenly in short supply. At the Jedi Temple on Coruscant, the towering spires reach toward the perpetually hazy sky of the Republic capital. Inside the temple's main council chamber, emergency sessions convene with desperate urgency. Holographic figures materialize around the circular room as Jedi Masters from across the galaxy report in. The chamber, usually a place of calm deliberation, now crackles with tension and confusion. Master Windu stands at the center, his hands clasped behind his back, his face carved from stone. "Masters, report your status." Ki Adi-Mundi's hologram flickers into view, his conical head distinctive, even in the blue projection. "Master Windu, my clone battalion on Megiddo experienced severe disorientation. Approximately 30 minutes ago, they reported receiving an order, designated Order 66, commanding them to execute all Jedi. However, they were unable or unwilling to comply. Several collapsed from what appeared to be neural feedback. Plo Koon's hologram appears next, his breathing mask giving his voice a mechanical quality. "I can confirm similar reports from my squadron over Cato Neimoidia. My pilots broke formation but did not fire upon me. One pilot managed to communicate that he was fighting against a compulsion to attack. He called it an invasion of his mind. Shakti materializes, her expression grave. Masters, I believe I can explain. I have been stationed on Camino, overseeing clone production. Some of the Kaminoan scientists approached me weeks ago with concerns about the inhibitor chips implanted in all clone troopers. They claimed the chips served a purpose beyond what we were told. But I dismissed their concerns as paranoia. It appears I was wrong. Master Windu's jaw tightens. Explain these chips. Shakti's image shifts as she pulls up technical schematics. The inhibitor chips were supposedly designed to prevent aggressive behavior and ensure clone stability. However, the scientists who spoke to me suggested they contained hidden subroutines, contingency orders that could override a clone's free will and force them to carry out specific directives. Order 66 appears to be one such directive, designed to compel the clones to eliminate all Jedi. Silence falls over the council chamber like a shroud. The implications are staggering. The clone army, created in secret before the war began, designed with built-in kill switches aimed directly at the Jedi. Yoda's ears droop as he absorbs this information. Betrayed, we have been. From the very beginning of this war, tools of our own destruction. The clones were meant to be. Obi-Wan Kenobi's hologram appears, still aboard his starfighter over Utapau. Master Yoda, I must report that Commander Cody attempted to execute this order. He had me targeted, but something prevented him from firing. He immediately reported the order to me and expressed confusion about why he felt compelled to attack. Cody is as loyal a soldier as I've ever served with. If he was affected by this order, then every clone in the Grand Army is potentially compromised. Kit Fisto adds his perspective. The question we must ask is, who gave this order and why did the chips malfunction? Ayla Secura's hologram joins the growing assembly. And more importantly, what do we do now? We cannot simply continue the war as if nothing has happened. Our entire command structure is built on cooperation with the clone forces. If they can be turned against us with a single command, how can we trust them? The debate intensifies. Some argue for immediate withdrawal from all battlefronts. Others insist they must maintain their positions to prevent separatist advances. Still others focus on the question of who orchestrated this attempted purge. It is Mace Windu who cuts through the debate with a single, chilling observation. There is only one person with the authority to issue such an order across the entire Grand Army. Only one person who had the power and resources to create the clone army in the first place. The Supreme Chancellor. The words hang in the air like a death sentence. Palpatine, the kindly old politician who has guided the Republic through its darkest hour, the statesman who steadily accumulated emergency powers to combat the separatist threat, the Chancellor who always seemed to be one step ahead of every crisis. It couldn't be, could it? Yoda closes his eyes, reaching out through the Force. When he opens them again, they are filled with ancient sorrow. Clouded by the dark side, the Chancellor has been. Felt it, I did. But too late, recognized the danger. A Sith Lord he is, right under our noses all along. The revelation strikes like a physical blow. A Sith Lord controlling the Republic. A Sith Lord orchestrating both sides of the war. A Sith Lord who nearly succeeded in destroying the Jedi Order in a single master stroke. Obi-Wan speaks, his voice measured but strained. Master Yoda, if what you say is true, then we must act immediately. The Chancellor has declared himself Emperor in all but name. He controls the Senate, the military, and now he knows his plan to eliminate us has failed. He will adapt. Mace Windu nods grimly. I will take a strike team to arrest the Chancellor immediately. This cannot wait for Senate debates or political maneuvering. If Palpatine is truly a Sith Lord, he is far too dangerous to leave at large. But before the Council can formulate a complete plan, an urgent communication comes through from the Senate district. It's Bail Organa, his face tight with worry. Masters, you need to know that the Chancellor has just addressed the Senate. He's claiming the Jedi are attempting a coup. He says, you've ordered your clone forces to stand down to allow separatist advances. He's painting you as traitors. The public channels are already running with the story. You're running out of time. The situation spirals. Palpatine is moving to consolidate control. He's weaponizing public opinion. And the Jedi, for all their power, are about to be branded enemies of the state. Master Windu makes his decision. Kit Fisto, Agen Kolar, Sai Tian, you're with me. We're going to arrest the Chancellor. Now, the rest of you, secure your positions and await further orders. If we fail, the order must survive. Shak Ti, contact the Kaminoans. We need to understand these chips and determine if they can be safely removed. Obi-Wan Yoda, stand by for emergency extraction if needed. May the Force be with us all. Meanwhile, in a private apartment in one of Coruscant's upscale residential districts, Anakin Skywalker stands at the viewport of his secret sanctuary. The apartment is modest by senatorial standards, but comfortable. A place where he and Padme can be together away from prying eyes. His hands are pressed against the transparent steel, his forehead leaning against the cool surface. His mind is a maelstrom of conflicting emotions, each one threatening to tear him apart. Hours ago, he revealed Palpatine's true identity to Master Windu, the Chancellor, his mentor, his friend. The one person who always believed in him is a Sith Lord, Darth Sidious, the architect of the war, the puppet master pulling strings across the galaxy. And Anakin exposed him. But now, doubt gnaws at him like a carrion creature. Palpatine promised to save Padme. In Anakin's dreams, visions plague him night after night. Visions of his wife dying in childbirth, screaming his name as life fades from her eyes. The Jedi healers dismiss his concerns as anxiety. Master Yoda tells him to rejoice for those who transform into the Force. But Palpatine promised knowledge, promised the power to prevent death itself. And now that promise may die with the Chancellor's arrest. Anakin's fist strikes the viewport, not hard enough to crack it, but hard enough to hurt. What has he done? Did he just sentence Padme to death by betraying the one person who could save her? Behind him, the apartment door opens. Padme enters, still wearing her senatorial robes, her face etched with concern. She's been in emergency sessions all day, the Senate in chaos over the Chancellor's accusations against the Jedi. Anakin doesn't turn. He can't bear to look at her, knowing that every second that passes might be a second closer to losing her. Padme crosses the room and places a gentle hand on his back. She knows him too well, can feel the turmoil radiating from him, like heat from a Sunday Anakin. What's wrong? You've been standing there for over an hour. Talk to me. His voice comes out barely above a whisper. I may have just made the biggest mistake of my life. I told Master Windu that Palpatine is a Sith Lord. They've gone to arrest him. But Padme, he was the only one who knew how to save you. The only one who understood the power to prevent death. And now they're going to kill him. And you're going to die. And it will be my fault. Padme moves around to face him, forcing him to meet her eyes. Her hands cup his face, steady and warm. Anakin Skywalker, look at me. The medical droids have told us I'm healthy. The pregnancy is progressing normally. These visions you're having, they're not the future. They're fear. You're afraid of losing me, and that fear is consuming you. But I don't want to die. The words break from him like a dam bursting. I can't lose you, Padme. I can't. I've lost everyone. My mother. Ahsoka left the Order. Obi-Wan doesn't trust me the way he used to. You're all I have. You and our child. If you die, there's nothing left. Nothing. Padme's eyes fill with tears. But her voice remains firm. You won't lose me. I'm not going anywhere. But Anakin, if Palpatine truly is a Sith Lord, if he's been manipulating this entire war, then he's been manipulating you too. Whatever he promised you, it comes with a price. The Sith don't give gifts. They make deals. And those deals always cost more than you expect to pay. Anakin pulls away, pacing now, his energy too volatile to contain. But what if he was telling the truth? What if he really does know how to save you? The Jedi won't teach me. They hide knowledge they consider too dangerous. But Palpatine was willing to share it. He was willing to help me when no one else would. Padme follows him, staying close. And what did he want in exchange? What was the price for this knowledge? Anakin stops. He remembers the conversation in the Chancellor's box at the Opera House. The way Palpatine spoke about the dark side. The way he looked at Anakin, measuring him, testing him. The unspoken offer hanging in the air like smoke. He wanted me to become his apprentice. He wanted me to turn against the Jedi, to help him rule the galaxy. Padme nods slowly. And are you willing to pay that price? Are you willing to abandon everything you believe in, everyone you care about, to grasp at a power that might not even exist? Because that's what he's offering, Anakin. Not salvation. Damnation wrapped in false promises. Before Anakin can respond, his comlink chirps urgently. It's Commander Appo, his voice tense. General Skywalker, we have a situation at the temple. The Chancellor has issued an order designating the Jedi as enemies of the Republic. Some of the men are confused. We received a previous order, Order 66, that many of us couldn't comply with. Now, we're being told to secure the temple. Sir, what are your orders? Anakin's mind races. Order 66. The attempted purge. And now Palpatine is making his move publicly, turning the Republic against the Jedi. This is it. The moment where everything changes, where he has to choose a side. He looks at Padme, seeing her fear, her love, her unwavering faith in him even now. He thinks of Obi-Wan, his master, his brother, in all but blood. He thinks of Ahsoka, wherever she is now. He thinks of the younglings in the temple, children who look at him with admiration and hope. And he thinks of Palpatine, the man who groomed him, who fed his fears, who promised him everything while slowly poisoning him against the very people trying to help him. The choice crystallizes. Anakin's voice, when he speaks into the comlink, is steady. Commander Appo, ignore that order. The Chancellor is a traitor. He's a Sith Lord, and he's trying to destroy the Republic. Gather your most loyal men. We're going to the Senate building. We're going to stop him. Yes, sir. General, for what it's worth, many of the men never trusted that Order 66. Something felt wrong about it. We're with you. The transmission ends. Anakin turns to Padme, taking her hands in his. I have to go. I have to help stop him. I almost let my fear control me. I almost betrayed everything I believe in. But you're right. The Jedi way might not be perfect, but it's better than the alternative. If you die, she squeezes his hands, cutting him off. I won't die. I'm strong, Anakin. Stronger than you give me credit for. And I'm not going anywhere. Now go. Do what you have to do. Save the Republic. Save the Jedi. And then come back to me. They kiss. A desperate, passionate kiss that carries all the weight of their love and fear. Then Anakin is gone, racing through the corridors of Coruscant toward the Senate building. In the Senate building, Mace Windu and his strike team move through the corridors with purposeful speed. Kit Fisto's head-tails twitch as he senses the darkness ahead. Ajan Kolar and Saesee Tiin flank the group, their hands resting on their lightsaber hilts. They encounter minimal resistance at first. A few Senate guards who stand aside, clearly confused by the conflicting orders they're receiving. But as they approach the Chancellor's private office, the air itself seems to thicken with malevolence. Master Windu feels it like a physical weight pressing against his chest. The dark side, concentrated and ancient, pulsing from behind those ornate doors. They don't bother to knock. The doors slide open, revealing Palpatine's office in all its deceptive elegance. Expensive art lines the walls. Antique furniture speaks of refined taste. And behind the massive desk, Palpatine sits, his hands folded, his expression one of wounded innocence. Ah, Master Windu, I take it. The Council has received my message about the Jedi coup. I'm glad you've come peacefully. Perhaps we can resolve this misunderstanding. Mace Windu's hand moves to his lightsaber. In the name of the Galactic Senate of the Republic, you are under arrest, Chancellor. Palpatine's expression doesn't change, but something shifts in his eyes. A flash of yellow. There, and gone. Are you threatening me, Master Jedi? I am the Senate. Not yet. Mace Windu's lightsaber ignites, its purple blade humming in the suddenly tense air. It's treason, then. What happens next occurs in the span of a heartbeat. Palpatine moves with speed that shouldn't be possible for a man of his apparent age. His hand flashes to a hidden compartment in his desk, and a lightsaber, crimson and angry, ignites with a snap hiss that sounds like a scream. He launches himself across the desk in a spinning leap, his form blurring with dark side energy. Ajan Kolar dies first. The Zabrak Jedi Master barely has time to activate his lightsaber before Palpatine's blade punches through his chest. The Sith Lord's form is a whirlwind of motion. His fighting style, a combination of ancient Sith techniques and raw, overwhelming power. Saisi Tian moves to counter, his blue blade meeting Palpatine's red in a shower of sparks. The Iktochi Jedi Master is skilled, his precognitive abilities allowing him to anticipate attacks before they come. But Palpatine is not fighting with technique alone. He channels the dark side through every movement, enhancing his speed to superhuman levels, his strength to bone-crushing force. Their blades lock for a moment, and Saisi Tian looks into Palpatine's eyes. What he sees there, the depth of evil, the centuries of dark knowledge, the pure, malevolent will, freezes him for just an instant. That instant is enough. Palpatine's blade disengages and comes around in a tight arc, separating the Jedi Master's head from his shoulders. Kit Fisto roars in fury and launches himself at the Sith Lord. The Nautolan's fighting style is unique, adapted from his aquatic homeworld, all flowing movements and unpredictable angles. His green blade weaves patterns in the air, forcing Palpatine back for the first time. The Sith Lord's smile never wavers. He meets each strike, his own blade moving in economical, precise motions. Form 2. Makashi, the dueling form perfected over centuries. But Kit Fisto is not easily defeated. He presses the attack, using his superior reach and flexibility to probe for openings. For a moment, it seems he might actually land a blow. Then Palpatine changes tactics. His free hand extends, and lightning, blue-white and crackling, erupts from his fingertips. The Force lightning strikes Kit Fisto full in the chest, the electricity coursing through his body. The Nautolan Jedi tries to block with his lightsaber, and for a moment succeeds in catching the lightning on his blade. But Palpatine intensifies the attack, pouring more power into it until Kit Fisto's muscles lock, his body convulsing. With a casual flick of his wrist, Palpatine sends the Jedi Master flying through the viewport. The transparent steel shatters, and Kit Fisto tumbles out into the Coruscant sky, falling toward the traffic lanes far below. Mace Windu stands alone now, 3 Jedi Masters dead in the space of seconds. His face is carved from stone, showing no fear, no hesitation. He advances on Palpatine, his purple blade held in a guard position. The Sith Lord's smile widens. Ah, Master Windu, the champion of the Jedi Order. Tell me, how does it feel to know you were so close to stopping me all these years, yet never saw the truth until it was too late? Windu doesn't respond with words. He responds with action. His lightsaber comes down in a powerful overhead strike that Palpatine barely deflects. The force of the blow drives the Sith Lord back a step. Windu follows, pressing the advantage, his Varpard form channeling the dark side's own power back against its wielder. Their blades meet again and again, purple and red stroking and clashing in a deadly dance. Palpatine's technique is flawless, centuries of Sith knowledge guiding every movement. But Windu's Varpard is specifically designed to counter dark side users, creating a superconducting loop where the darkness feeds back on itself. The office becomes a war zone. Furniture explodes into splinters as force waves crash against it. The walls scorch from near misses. The floor cracks under the pressure of their power. Palpatine unleashes torrents of force lightning, but Windu's lightsaber catches each blast, redirecting the energy. The Sith Lord tries to use the Force to throw debris, to shatter the remaining viewports, to create distractions. But Windu remains focused, implacable, advancing step by step. For the first time, doubt flickers in Palpatine's yellow eyes. This Jedi is stronger than anticipated. Varpad is more effective than he calculated. He needs to change the battlefield to gain an advantage. With a burst of dark power, Palpatine shatters all the remaining windows. The Coruscant wind howls into the office, and the Sith Lord leaps through the opening, landing on a narrow ledge outside. Windu follows without hesitation. They duel on the ledge, hundreds of stories above the traffic lanes, the wind tearing at their clothes. One misstep means death. Palpatine tries to use this to his advantage, attempting to force Windu off balance, to make him fall. But the Jedi Master's connection to the Force keeps him centered, his footing sure. Their blades lock, faces inches apart. Windu can smell the ozone and decay emanating from the Sith Lord. You cannot win. The dark side is more powerful than you can imagine. Windu's response is simple. The Force is stronger than you, and pushing with all his strength, he drives Palpatine back toward the ledge's edge. But before the duel can reach its conclusion, the building's alarms begin to blare. Throughout the Senate complex, chaos erupts. Clone troopers flood the corridors, but they're fighting each other. Some, their inhibitor chips partially functional, follow Palpatine's orders to secure the building and eliminate Jedi. Others, free from the chip's control or having overcome the compulsion, remain loyal to their Jedi generals. The result is a civil war in miniature. Clone fighting clone in the halls of Republic power. Blaster fire echoes through the building. Red bolts streak down corridors. Troopers take cover behind ornamental pillars and Senate office furniture. Some of them are shouting, trying to talk sense into their brothers. Others are grimly silent, carrying out orders they don't fully understand. In one corridor, Commander Fox leads a squad of Coruscant Guard troopers toward the Chancellor's office. His orders are clear. Protect the Chancellor at all costs. But his men are confused. Half of them experience the Order 66 compulsion. They felt their minds being invaded, their free will being overridden, and now they're being asked to fight alongside clones who might turn on them at any moment. Sir, the man beside Fox says, his designation CC-4477, called Thaya. Sir, is this right? Fighting other clones? The Jedi. They've never been our enemies. Commander Fox's jaw is tight beneath his helmet. Orders are orders, Thaya. The Chancellor says the Jedi are traitors. We follow the chain of command. But even as he says it, doubt gnaws at him. Order 66 felt wrong. This feels wrong. Everything about this situation feels wrong. They round a corner and come face to face with another clone squad led by Commander Thorn. Both groups freeze, weapons raised but not firing. These are brothers. They've trained together, fought together, bled together, and now they're on opposite sides of a conflict they don't fully understand. Thorn speaks first, his voice amplified by his helmet speakers. Fox, stand down. The Chancellor is a Sith Lord. The Jedi have proof. We're on the wrong side of this. Fox shakes his head. I have my orders, Thorn. The Chancellor is the legitimate head of state. Until the Senate votes otherwise, we follow his commands. Even if those commands are wrong, even if we're about to start a civil war, Fox's finger tightens on his trigger. Especially then, soldiers don't get to pick and choose which orders to follow. That's not how this works. Thorn's squad tenses. We're not droids, Fox. We're men. We have free will. Order 66 tried to take that away from us, but it failed. And I'm not about to let you take it away either. For a long moment, no one moves. Brothers facing brothers across a corridor in the heart of Republic power. Then Fox makes his decision. He lowers his weapon. You're right. We're not droids. The rest of his squad slowly follows suit, weapons lowering. Some look relieved. Others look conflicted, but none of them fire. Thorn nods and gestures for Fox's squad to join them. Come on, let's go stop a Sith Lord before this gets even worse. Meanwhile, racing through the Senate building's lower levels, Anakin Skywalker leads Commander Appo and a squad of loyal clone troopers. They encounter resistance almost immediately. A squad of Senate guards opens fire, either believing the Jedi are truly attempting a coup or following orders they don't dare question. Anakin's lightsaber ignites, the blue blade deflecting blaster bolts back toward their sources. He doesn't aim to kill, instead targeting weapons and armor, disabling rather than destroying. Appo and his men provide covering fire, advancing in disciplined formation. We need to reach the Chancellor's office, Anakin shouts over the sound of blaster fire. Master Windu went there to arrest Palpatine. If the Chancellor is truly a Sith Lord, Master Windu may need backup. They fight through corridor after corridor. Clone troopers who remained loyal to Palpatine try to block their path, but Appo's men use stun settings when possible, trying to avoid killing their brothers. It's a chaotic, confusing battle where friend and foe are hard to distinguish. Anakin reaches out through the Force, trying to sense Master Windu. He feels the dark side presence, massive and overwhelming, radiating from somewhere above, and he feels Master Windu, a beacon of determination and righteous power, locked in combat with that darkness. He runs faster. Behind him, Appo coordinates with other clone commanders via comlink, trying to organize the loyalist forces. More and more clones are choosing to side against Palpatine as the truth spreads. The inhibitor chip's failure has given them their free will back, and they're using it to make their own choices. Finally, Anakin and his squad reach the turbolifts leading to the Chancellor's private levels. But as the doors open, he finds himself face to face with Mas Amedda, the vice chair of the Senate, and a full company of Senate guards. Skywalker, Mas Amedda, intones, his voice echoing in the confined space. You are under arrest for treason against the Republic. Stand down immediately. Anakin's blade doesn't waver. Move aside. The Chancellor is a Sith Lord. He orchestrated this entire war. I'm not letting him escape. The Senate will determine the Chancellor's fate, not a single Jedi Knight. Now, disarm yourself before this becomes violent. Anakin reaches out through the Force, not to attack, but to sense. Mas Amedda's surface thoughts are accessible, and what Anakin finds there makes his blood run cold. The Vice Chair knows. He's known all along what Palpatine truly is. He's complicit in the entire conspiracy. You knew. Anakin's voice is filled with disgust. You knew what he was, and you helped him anyway. Masameda's expression doesn't change. The Sith will bring order to the galaxy. The Republic is weak, corrupt, dying. The Empire will be strong, and those of us wise enough to embrace the new order will be rewarded. Anakin doesn't bother to argue. His hand extends, and the Force ripples outward. The Senate guards fly backward, their weapons clattering away. Masameda himself is lifted off his feet and pinned against the wall, unable to move. "Commander Apo," Anakin says calmly, "secure the vice chair. He's under arrest for conspiracy to commit treason." The clones move to comply, binding Masameda with binders. The Chagrian struggles and curses, but he's powerless against trained soldiers. Anakin and his remaining men board the turbolift and ascend toward the Chancellor's office. As the lift rises, Anakin feels a disturbance in the Force. Something terrible is about to happen. He can feel the dark side gathering, concentrating, preparing to strike. The turbolift seems to move too slowly, each second stretching into an eternity. When the doors finally open, he emerges into a scene of devastation. The Chancellor's office is destroyed. Bodies of Jedi Masters lie cooling on the floor, and through the shattered viewports, he can see two figures on a ledge outside, locked in lightsaber combat, Master Windu and Palpatine. Anakin races toward the viewport and leaps through, landing on the ledge with cat-like grace. The wind immediately tries to tear him off the narrow platform, but he centers himself with the Force. Ahead, Master Windu has Palpatine pressed against the edge. The Sith Lord's face is a mask of hatred and desperation. The duel has taken its toll on both of them, but Windu is slowly winning. Palpatine's blade work is becoming sloppy, his movements less precise. Then, Palpatine sees Anakin, and everything changes. The Sith Lord's face suddenly transforms. The hatred melts away, replaced by fear and pain. His lightsaber deactivates and falls from his hand. He stumbles backward, and when he speaks, his voice is that of a terrified old man. "Anakin, help me. The Jedi are taking over. Please, you must help me." It's a performance worthy of the greatest actors in the galaxy. The transformation is so complete, so convincing, that for a moment, even Anakin hesitates. This is the Chancellor he knew, the kindly mentor who always had time to talk, who offered wisdom and encouragement when the Jedi Council offered only criticism. But Anakin has grown. He's learned. And most importantly, he's chosen his path. Anakin's lightsaber ignites, and he positions himself beside Master Windu. "You're not fooling anyone anymore, Chancellor. Or should I say Darth Sidious?" Palpatine's mask slips back into place, the frightened old man vanishing as if it never existed. His eyes are pure yellow now, burning with dark side energy. His voice, when it speaks, is a sibilant hiss. So, the boy finally sees clearly. But it's too late, young Skywalker. Far too late. You could have had everything. Power to save your wife. Power to reshape the galaxy. Power to become the greatest Jedi who ever lived. And you threw it all away for what? For loyalty to a corrupt order? For devotion to a dying republic? Anakin's blade doesn't waver. I threw it away for love, for friendship, for the belief that there's a better way than ruling through fear and hatred. You promised to teach me to save Padme, But what you really wanted was to turn me into your slave. Palpatine laughs, a sound like glass breaking. Foolish child, your wife will die in childbirth, just as you've foreseen. And there's nothing you can do to stop it. Without my knowledge, without the power of the dark side, she is doomed. And you will spend the rest of your life knowing you could have saved her but chose to condemn her instead. The words strike like vibroblades, aimed at Anakin's deepest fear. For a moment, doubt flickers. What if Palpatine is telling the truth? What if Padme really does die? Can he live with that choice? But then he remembers Padme's words, her strength, her faith in him. He remembers Obi-Wan's teachings, the Jedi way of accepting what cannot be changed. And he remembers that fear is the path to the dark side. Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering. He will not walk that path. If Padme dies, Anakin says quietly, then I will mourn her. I will grieve. But I will not dishonor her memory by becoming a monster in a failed attempt to save her. She wouldn't want that. And neither do I. Palpatine's face contorts with rage. Then you are a fool, and you will die a fool. He raises both hands, and Force lightning erupts from his fingertips. But this time, it's not a focused attack. It's an explosion of raw, dark side energy, spreading out in all directions. Both Anakin and Master Windu raise their lightsabers, catching the lightning on their blades. The electricity courses through the weapons, their kyber crystals humming with the strain. The ledge beneath them begins to crack from the pressure, chunks of duracrete breaking away and tumbling down into the traffic lanes below. Palpatine pours more power into the attack, drawing on decades of accumulated dark side energy. His face ages before their eyes, the friendly mask burning away to reveal the withered, corpse-like visage beneath. The yellow eyes burn like suns. Teeth grind in a rictus grin. This is the true face of Darth Sidious, stripped of all pretense. But even with all that power, he cannot overcome two Jedi Masters working in concert. Anakin and Windu advance step by step, their lightsabers redirecting the lightning back toward its source. Palpatine screams, a sound of pure fury, as his own attack begins to consume him. The lightning scorches his robes, burns his flesh. And then, with a final burst of effort, Anakin and Windu push together. The combined force wave strikes Palpatine full in the chest. The Sith Lord's lightning cuts off. His body flies backward off the ledge. He plummets down into the Coruscant sky, his scream fading into the distance. But before anyone can celebrate, a sleek shuttle rises from below. Palpatine's body, still falling, is caught by a tractor beam and pulled into the ship. The shuttle's weapons ports open, and blaster cannons swivel toward the ledge. "Get down!" Windu shouts. Anakin and Windu dive back through the shattered viewport as the cannons open fire. Energy bolts tear through the space where they were standing, reducing the ledge to rubble. The shuttle banks away, disappearing into the endless maze of Coruscant's skyline. In the ruined office, Anakin and Master Windu pick themselves up. Around them, clone troopers loyal to both sides have formed a stalemate, weapons trained on each other but no one firing. Commander Appo breaks the silence. "General Skywalker, what are your orders?" Anakin looks at Master Windu, who nods. "Stand down, all of you. The fighting stops now." We're not killing our brothers over a Sith Lord's lies. Slowly, hesitantly, weapons lower. Clone troopers on both sides look at each other with a mixture of relief and shame. They almost killed each other. They almost threw away everything they fought for because of orders they didn't understand. Master Windu activates his comlink, connecting to the Jedi Council. Masters, Palpatine has escaped. He is Darth Sidious. Confirmed. We fought him. Here, in the Senate building. He killed Ajan Kolar and Saesee Tiin. Kit Fisto's fate is unknown. The Chancellor has fled Coruscant. Across the galaxy, Jedi Masters receive this confirmation. Their worst fears realized. A Sith Lord ruled the Republic for over a decade, orchestrating both sides of the war, playing them all like puppets. Yoda's hologram appears in the office. His expression, grave, informed the Senate. We must. Stripped of his authority, Palpatine must be. Declared an enemy of the Republic, he will be. But careful, we must be. Many systems, loyal to him, they remain. Divided, the galaxy will be. Bail Organa's voice comes through on another channel. Master Windu, I'm organizing an emergency Senate session. We need to move fast before Palpatine's supporters can consolidate power. I have Mon Mothma and several other senators ready to call for his removal. But you need to understand, this is going to tear the Republic apart. About half the Senate still supports him. They either don't believe he's a Sith Lord or don't care as long as he brings order. Anakin speaks up. Then we need proof. Undeniable evidence that Palpatine is Darth Sidious. Do we have anything? Shakti's hologram appears. I have been working with the Kaminoans. They have provided records of their communications with the Chancellor, including several where he discusses the inhibitor chip's true purpose. They also have recordings of him referring to himself as Darth Sidious. He was not as careful in his dealings with them as he thought. That, combined with the testimony of the Jedi who fought him, should be sufficient. The Senate session is called for immediately. In the vast rotunda of the Senate building, thousands of repulsor pods float in the air, each carrying senators from across the galaxy. The chamber buzzes with confusion and fear. Rumors have spread like wildfire. The Chancellor is a Sith Lord. The Jedi attempted a coup. The clone army tried to kill the Jedi. No one knows what to believe. Mas Amedda, in binders, is escorted into the chamber by Senate guards. His presence sends shockwaves through the assembly. If the vice chair is under arrest, then the situation is even worse than they thought. Bail Organa takes the floor, his voice amplified throughout the chamber. Senators of the Republic, we face the gravest crisis in our history. Supreme Chancellor Palpatine has been revealed to be Darth Sidious, a Sith Lord who has manipulated our government for over a decade. He orchestrated the Clone Wars, playing both sides to accumulate power and attempt to destroy the Jedi Order. The chamber erupts. Some senators shout in disbelief. Others call for proof. A few, Palpatine's most loyal supporters, denounce the accusations as Jedi propaganda. Order! Bail shouts over the din. Order! We have evidence. Master Shakti, if you would present your findings. Shakti's hologram appears in the center of the chamber, massive and imposing. Senators of the Republic. The Jedi Order has obtained recordings from the Kaminoans who created the clone army. These recordings prove that Chancellor Palpatine, under his Sith name Darth Sidious, ordered the creation of inhibitor chips designed to force the clones to execute all Jedi upon command. This order, designated Order 66, was transmitted earlier today. The chips malfunctioned, preventing a galaxy-wide Jedi purge. The recording plays for all to see and hear. Palpatine's voice, unmistakable, discussing the chips, referring to himself as Darth Sidious, planning the destruction of the Jedi. The chamber falls silent as the full weight of the betrayal sinks in, but the silence doesn't last. Senator Orn Freetar of Ryloth stands in his pod, his voice trembling with a mixture of shock and calculation. This is monstrous. If what we're hearing is true, then the Chancellor has committed the greatest act of treason in Republic history. We must act immediately to remove him from power and bring him to justice. However, others are not so quick to condemn. Senator Gume Sam of Umbara rises, his expression skeptical. These recordings could be fabricated. The Jedi have a clear motive to discredit the Chancellor. He has been the one voice calling for accountability in their conduct of the war. How convenient that they now accuse him of being a Sith Lord when he dares to question their authority. Mon Mothma stands, her voice cutting through the debate like a blade. Senator Sam, 3 Jedi Masters, witnessed the Chancellor wielding a lightsaber and using Sith powers. He killed 2 of them. Are you suggesting this is all an elaborate hoax? That the Jedi murdered their own to create a pretext for removing the Chancellor? The debate intensifies, splitting the Senate into factions. Some senators, particularly those from core worlds that have suffered under the war, are horrified at the revelation and demand immediate action. Others, especially those from systems that have benefited from Palpatine's policies or fear the chaos his removal might bring, defend him, or at least call for caution. Senator Ask Ak of Malastare takes a harder line. Whether or not the Chancellor is a Sith Lord, the fact remains that he orchestrated a clone army without Senate approval, planted control chips in their brains, and attempted to use them to eliminate the Jedi. These actions alone constitute treason of the highest order. I support Senator Mothma's motion to strip him of all authority. But Senator Poe Nudo of Ando counters. And what of the Jedi? They have led our military forces for 3 years. They have made decisions that cost millions of lives. They have become deeply entangled in politics. Perhaps the Chancellor was right to see them as a threat to democracy. Perhaps his methods were extreme, but his concerns were valid. Bail Organa rises again, his frustration evident. Senators, we are not here to debate the Jedi's role in the Republic. That is a discussion for another day. We are here because the sitting Chancellor attempted to murder thousands of Jedi in a coordinated purge. He used the dark side of the Force. He killed Jedi Masters who came to arrest him. These are facts, not political opinions. The man we entrusted with emergency powers to protect the Republic used those powers to try to destroy one of its most ancient institutions. If we cannot agree that this is unacceptable, then the Republic is already dead. The words hang heavy in the chamber. For a long moment, no one speaks. Then Senator Padme Amidala stands in her pod, and the chamber turns to listen. She has remained silent until now, but her voice carries the weight of moral authority. Senators, I have served in this body for over a decade. I have seen the Republic at its best and at its worst. I have seen us rise to meet challenges and fail to protect our own citizens. But I have never, in all my time here, seen a betrayal as complete as this. Chancellor Palpatine, Darth Sidious, whatever we call him, he did not just betray the Jedi, he betrayed all of us. Every vote we cast, every law we passed, every decision we made was done under his manipulation. The war itself, the millions who died, the systems that were devastated, all of it was orchestrated by him to increase his own power. And when his plan to eliminate the Jedi failed, he did not accept accountability. He did not confess. He fled. He abandoned us. That alone tells you everything you need to know about his character and his fitness to lead. She pauses, letting her words sink in. I move that we not only strip Palpatine of his authority, but also begin a comprehensive investigation into every policy, every law, every executive order he issued during his time in office. We must understand the full extent of his corruption and root out every trace of it. We must rebuild the Republic on a foundation of truth, not lies. The motion is seconded by multiple senators. The debate continues for hours, with speeches both passionate and calculated, with senators positioning themselves for the new political reality that is emerging. But slowly, painfully, a consensus begins to form. When the vote is finally called, the chamber falls silent. The votes are cast electronically, each senator making their choice in private. The results appear on the central display. The motion to remove Palpatine from office and strip him of all authority passes with 52% of the vote. 48% either vote against or abstain. The chamber erupts again, this time with a mixture of relief and outrage. The narrow margin reveals just how divided the Republic has become. Bail Organa gavels for order. The motion is passed. Supreme Chancellor Palpatine is hereby removed from office and declared a fugitive from Republic justice. All emergency powers granted to him are revoked. This Senate will now establish a transitional government until proper elections can be held. But even as he speaks, the consequences of the vote are already unfolding across the galaxy. Senators loyal to Palpatine immediately activate their comlinks, contacting their home systems with urgent messages. Within the hour, several systems in the deep core and outer rim territories release statements declaring that they do not recognize the Senate's vote as legitimate. They claim the Jedi have staged a coup and that Palpatine remains the rightful leader of the galaxy. The Sereno system, devastated by Count Dooku's death but still loyal to his ideals, announces it will join Palpatine's cause. The corporate alliance worlds, which profited immensely from the war, declare their allegiance to the Emperor, as they now call him. Systems in the Tion cluster, long resentful of core world dominance, see Palpatine as a strong leader who can bring order where the Republic brought only bureaucracy. The galaxy fractures, not cleanly, but messily, with some systems declaring for Palpatine immediately, others remaining loyal to the Republic, and still others declaring neutrality and trying to avoid being drawn into another war. The seeds of civil war are sown. On the dark world of Biss, deep in the deep core, Palpatine's shuttle lands in a secret fortress that has been prepared for years as a contingency. The facility is vast, hidden beneath layers of rock and shielded from sensors by ancient Sith technology. As Palpatine emerges from the shuttle, his body is damaged. scarred by his own reflected force lightning. But his mind is sharper than ever. He descends into the fortress, passing through corridors lined with Sith artifacts and ancient holocrons. Clone troopers, whose inhibitor chips still function, stand at attention, their loyalty absolute. These are the ones whose chips activated properly, who felt no conflict, who would have killed their Jedi generals if given the chance. They are the core of his new army. In a dark meditation chamber, Palpatine sits on a throne of black stone and reaches out through the Force. He can feel the galaxy in turmoil. He can sense the fear, the anger, the confusion. These emotions are fuel for the dark side, and he draws on them, letting them flow through him and heal his damaged body. Not completely, not quickly, but enough. He activates a holographic communicator, and figures begin to appear around him. These are his most loyal followers, the ones who have served him in secret for years. Admiral Terrenold Screed, commander of the Victory-class Star Destroyers in the Deep Core. Grand Moff Wilhuff Tarkin, whose ambition and ruthlessness make him a perfect servant of the Empire. Director Armand Issard of Republic Intelligence, whose spy networks span the galaxy. And others, military officers, bureaucrats, corporate leaders, all of whom see opportunity in the chaos. "My friends," Palpatine says, his voice a rasp, but carrying undeniable authority. "We have suffered a setback, but not a defeat. The Jedi have survived, but they are weakened. The Republic continues, but it is fractured. And we have an opportunity. We will not conquer the galaxy in a single stroke. We will take it piece by piece, system by system. We will offer order where there is chaos, security where there is fear, strength where there is weakness. The Empire will rise not through force alone, but through the willing submission of those who have lost faith in democracy." Tarkin speaks first, his voice clipped and precise. "My lord, the Republic Navy is in disarray. Many officers are uncertain which side to support. If we move quickly, we can secure several fleet groups before they make their decision. The Victory Star Destroyers in the Deep Core are already under our control. With them as a nucleus, we can begin building the Imperial Navy." "Excellent," Palpatine responds. "Begin immediately. Focus on officers who value order over politics, those who see the Republic as weak and indecisive. Promise them authority, resources, and the freedom to act without Senate oversight. Many will be tempted," Director Issard adds, his voice smooth and calculating. "Intelligence networks are already at work, my lord. We are identifying Republic senators, military officers, and corporate leaders who might be sympathetic to our cause. Some will join us out of idealism, believing the Empire will bring stability. Others will join out of fear or opportunism. And some, a significant number, will join simply because they see which way the wind is blowing and want to be on the winning side." Palpatine nods. "And what of the separatist holdouts? Their leadership is in chaos, with Dooku dead and Grievous destroyed. Can they be brought into the fold?" Admiral Screed responds. "Some of the separatist systems are already reaching out to us, my lord. They see the Republic as just as corrupt as before, and they fear retribution for their role in the war. If we offer them amnesty and a place in the Empire, many will accept. The irony of the Republic's enemies becoming our allies is delicious. But not all," Palpatine cautions. "Some separatists were true believers in their cause. not merely pawns. They will resist us just as they resisted the Republic. Let them. Every system that fights against both us and the Republic weakens both sides and creates opportunities for us to position ourselves as peacemakers. The meeting continues for hours, with Palpatine laying out his strategy. It is a long-term plan, patient and methodical, designed to slowly strangle the Republic, while building the Empire into a power that can one day challenge it directly. But there is another element to his plan, one he discusses only with his most trusted advisors after the others have left. In his deepest laboratories, Palpatine oversees a project of immense complexity and terrible ambition. Cloning, but not the simple process used to create the Grand Army of the Republic. This is Sith cloning, incorporating dark side alchemy, essence transfer, and technologies salvaged from ancient Sith worlds. The goal is nothing less than immortality. If Palpatine can perfect the technique of transferring his consciousness from one body to another, he will never truly die. He will be able to inhabit body after body, ruling for eternity. The research is overseen by a cadre of dark side adepts, scientists who have embraced Sith philosophy in exchange for forbidden knowledge. They work with Kaminoan cloners who were captured or who came willingly, seduced by the promise of perfecting their art. The early experiments are failures, bodies that reject the transferred consciousness, minds that fragment during the transfer, clones that live for only days or hours before their cellular structure breaks down. But each failure teaches them something new, brings them closer to success. Palpatine is patient. He has time. And there is one more element to his plan, perhaps the most important: the Inquisitorius. Throughout the galaxy, there are Jedi who survived. Order 66, who are now scattered and confused. There are also dark side adepts, fallen Jedi, and Force-sensitive individuals who have never been trained. Palpatine wants them all. He dispatches agents across Imperial space and beyond, searching for Force-sensitives. Those with potential are brought to Biss. The strong-willed ones are subjected to torture and indoctrination, their spirits broken until they embrace the dark side or die. The weak-willed ones are simply killed, but some are special. They have power, ambition, anger. They can be shaped into weapons. The first Inquisitor, a former Jedi named Prosit Dibs, who harbored resentment against the Council, is broken and remade. He becomes the Grand Inquisitor, tasked with hunting down surviving Jedi and Force-sensitive children. Others follow. The second sister, a Padawan who watched her master die and blamed the Jedi for failing to protect her. The fifth brother, a large and brutal man whose Force abilities are matched by his physical strength. The seventh sister, cunning and cruel, who enjoys the psychological torture of her prey. These Inquisitors are trained in lightsaber combat, taught to use the Force for hunting and killing, and given advanced equipment. They become the Empire's Dark Jedi, feared throughout Imperial space and beyond. On Coruscant, in the days following Palpatine's flight, the Jedi Temple becomes the center of a different kind of revolution. Jedi Masters from across the galaxy return, bringing their clone battalions with them. The temple, which had been a military headquarters during the war, now transforms back into a place of learning and meditation. But it cannot be what it was before. Too much has changed. The immediate priority is removing the inhibitor chips from all clone troopers. Shark T, working with Kaminoan surgeons who are racked with guilt over their role in the conspiracy, establishes field hospitals throughout the temple and in military bases across Coruscant. The procedure is delicate and dangerous. The chips are embedded deep in the clones' brains, intertwined with neural tissue responsible for memory, motor function, and basic cognitive processes. Remove the chip incorrectly, and the clone suffers permanent brain damage, paralysis, or death. But the Kaminoans are skilled, and they're motivated by a desperate need to atone for their sins. One by one, clone troopers undergo the surgery. The first to volunteer is Commander Cody. He lies on the surgical table, surrounded by medical droids and Kaminoan surgeons. Master Kenobi stands nearby, offering silent support. The procedure takes 2 hours. Micro-tools carefully separate neural tissue, isolate the chip, and extract it. When it's over, Cody wakes in recovery, and for the first time since his creation, his mind is entirely his own. He sits up slowly, Master Kenobi helping him. The general looks concerned. "How do you feel, Commander?" Cody takes a moment to assess himself. He runs through military protocols in his mind, checks his memory of battles and training, tests his reflexes. Everything seems normal but also different. There's a clarity to his thoughts that wasn't there before, as if a veil he didn't know existed has been lifted. "I feel free, sir. For the first time, I feel completely free." The words spread through the clone army like wildfire. Other clones come forward eagerly, wanting their chips removed. Some are afraid of what the procedure might do to them, but the fear of being controlled, of having their free will stolen, is greater. Within days, thousands of clones have undergone the surgery. Within weeks, the number reaches into the tens of thousands. It becomes a symbol, a moment of liberation for an army that was created to be slaves. But not all clones survive the procedure. Some die on the table when complications arise. Others suffer brain damage that leaves them unable to speak or move. These failures haunt the Kaminoan surgeons and weigh heavily on the Jedi Council. They have given the clones freedom, but at what cost? For the clones who survive intact, the chip removal brings unexpected psychological effects. Many experience what human psychologists would call an identity crisis. Who are they without the chip? Are they still the same person? Or has removing the chip changed them fundamentally? Some clones report feeling emotions more intensely than before. Others say they can now question orders more easily, can think about the purpose of their existence. A few experience what amounts to post-traumatic stress as memories of the war, previously filtered through the chip's influence, hit them with full force. The Jedi work with Republic mental health professionals to provide counseling and support. Group therapy sessions are held where clones can discuss their experiences with others who understand. Some clones find purpose in continuing to serve as soldiers. They believe in the Republic, in protecting innocent beings, in the camaraderie of their brothers. The war may have been orchestrated by a Sith Lord, but the friendships they formed, the brothers they lost, the beings they saved, those were real. That meant something. Other clones choose to retire. They want to explore life beyond war. to see what it means to be individuals rather than soldiers. Some try to find civilian work, though this is challenging in a galaxy that sees them as weapons. Others seek out the families of Jedi they served with, wanting to honor their fallen generals. A few even try to return to Kamino, wanting to understand where they came from and who they might have been without the war. The Republic's Senate passes emergency legislation granting clones full citizenship rights. They are no longer property of the military, but beings with legal protections. The right to own property, the right to choose their own paths. It's a start, though implementation is messy and incomplete. And for the clones whose chips cannot be safely removed, or who choose not to undergo the procedure, life becomes complicated. Some remain with the Republic military, but their commanders watch them carefully, knowing they could potentially be activated by another Order 66-style command. Others are assigned to non-combat roles where the risk is minimized, and some, whose chips are fully functional and who might have killed Jedi if they'd had the chance, quietly slip away, answering Palpatine's call to join the Empire. On Kamino, the Kaminoan leadership faces a reckoning of their own. Prime Minister Lama Su and the other administrators are arrested and transported to Coruscant to face charges of conspiracy and crimes against sapient beings. The defense they offer is weak. They were following orders. They were paid for a service. They had no way of knowing Palpatine's true intentions. But the evidence damns them. They knew about the inhibitor chip's true purpose. They knew Order 66 existed. Some scientists warned them that what they were doing was wrong, and they were silenced. The trials are conducted by a special tribunal, and the verdicts are harsh. Lama Su is sentenced to life imprisonment. Other administrators receive similar sentences, but the rank-and-file Kaminoan cloners, the scientists who actually did the work, most are granted leniency in exchange for their cooperation in removing chips and testifying about the conspiracy. The clone facilities on Kamino are placed under Republic oversight. No new clones are created, but the existing infrastructure is maintained to support the medical procedures needed to remove chips. There is talk of eventually shutting down the facilities entirely, but that decision is postponed until the crisis with Palpatine's empire is resolved. Back at the Jedi Temple, the Council convenes for what will become a historic session. Master Yoda sits in his chair, looking older and more weary than any of the Masters have ever seen him. Around him, the Council is full. Mace Windu, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Shak Ti, Plo Koon, Ki Adi Mundi, Ayla Secura, and others, all present either physically or via hologram. The chamber is heavy with the weight of recent events. 3 council members are dead, the Republic is fractured, and the Jedi themselves must confront uncomfortable truths about their role in recent history. Yoda speaks first, his voice carrying the burden of his 900 years. Failed. We have. Blind to the darkness under our noses. We were. A Sith Lord controlled the Republic for over a decade, and since him, we did not. Led an army into war. We did, without questioning who created that army or why. Became soldiers and generals. We did, forgetting what it means to be Jedi. If survive we wish to, change we must. Fundamentally, completely change we must. Mace Windu nods, his expression grave. Master Yoda is right. We have been complicit in our own corruption. We convinced ourselves that serving the Republic was the same as serving the Force, that winning the war was more important than adhering to our principles. We ignored warning signs because they were inconvenient. We trusted political leaders because they flattered us. We failed. Obi-Wan adds, his voice thoughtful, and what of our code? What of the rules we've lived by for 1,000 generations? The prohibition on attachment, on emotion, on family ties? Anakin Skywalker's attachment to Senator Amidala is what saved him today. His love for her, his fear of losing her, that made him vulnerable to Palpatine's manipulation. Yes, but ultimately, it was his choice to embrace that love, rather than deny it, that brought him back to the light. Perhaps we need to reconsider what we think we know about the dark side and the light. Shakti speaks up. I have been studying the ancient texts, the original teachings of the Jedi who came before us. They taught balance, not the suppression of emotion, but the understanding of it. They taught that both the light and the dark existed within every being, and that wisdom came from acknowledging both and choosing consciously which to follow. Somewhere in our history, we lost that nuance. We began to see the dark side as an external force to be fought, rather than an internal temptation to be understood and overcome. The debate that follows is passionate and often contentious. Some masters argue for maintaining the traditional Jedi code, believing that the principles themselves are sound even if their application was flawed. Others call for radical reformation, suggesting the Jedi should allow marriage, permit emotional attachments, and even consider training in some dark side techniques to better understand their enemy. Plo Koon offers a middle path. Perhaps the answer is not to abandon our code, but to reinterpret it. There is no emotion. There is peace. We thought this meant eliminating all emotion. But what if it means acknowledging our emotions and choosing peace regardless? There is no ignorance. There is knowledge. We have been ignorant of our own capacity for error. Now we must seek knowledge from all sources, not just those that confirm our existing beliefs. Ki Adi Mundi continues the thought. There is no passion. There is serenity. We mistook this to mean avoiding passion entirely. But passion channeled through serenity, emotion acknowledged and consciously directed. Perhaps that is the truer path. Ayla Secura adds, there is no chaos. There is harmony. We sought to impose harmony through rigid order. But the galaxy is chaotic. Life is messy. True harmony comes from accepting that chaos and finding balance within it, not from denying its existence. Yoda taps his Gaima stick thoughtfully. And there is no death. There is the Force. This we used to justify detachment from loss, from grief. But Qui-Gon Jinn showed us that death is not the end, that the Force allows us to maintain connections even after physical death. Perhaps mourning, grieving, honoring those we have lost. These do not diminish our understanding of the Force, but deepen it. The Council votes on a series of reforms. The votes are not unanimous, but clear majorities emerge. First, the Jedi will no longer serve as generals in any army. They will return to their traditional role as peacekeepers, mediators, and guardians. If they must fight, it will be to defend the innocent, not to wage war for political entities. Second, the prohibition on marriage and family will be lifted. Jedi will still be counseled against possessive attachments, but love, friendship, and family bonds will no longer be forbidden. Each Jedi will be judged on their actions and their connection to the Force, not on abstract rules about relationships. Third, Jedi training will be reformed. Younglings will still be brought to the temple at a young age, but families will have more say in the decision. Older individuals who show Force sensitivity will be allowed to train, something the old order rarely permitted. And most controversially, Jedi will be taught about the dark side, not as something to fear and avoid, but as something to understand and consciously resist. Fourth, the Jedi Council itself will be restructured. Instead of a small group of masters making decisions for the entire order, regional councils will be established on multiple worlds. The Coruscant Council will coordinate, but it will no longer have absolute authority. This decentralization is designed to prevent the kind of groupthink and insularity that led to the Order's near destruction. Fifth, the Jedi will establish new academies on worlds throughout the Republic and even in neutral space. Dantooine, with its ancient Jedi enclave, will be rebuilt. Ossus, legendary home of the great Jedi Library, will become a center of learning. Tython, the birthplace of the Jedi, will be explored for its ancient teachings. Each academy will have some autonomy to develop its own approach to Jedi training, reflecting the diversity of the Force itself. These reforms do not happen overnight. There is resistance from traditionalists who believe the Jedi should maintain their ancient ways. Some Jedi, unable to accept the changes, leave the Order entirely, either to become independent Force users or to retreat into isolation. But most Jedi, especially the younger ones, embrace the reforms. They see an opportunity to build something better than what came before. And at the center of this reformation is Anakin Skywalker. The Council calls him before them in a private session. Master Windu speaks, and there is genuine warmth in his usually stern voice. Anakin, you stood at a crossroads and chose the light when darkness promised you everything. You proved that our rigid thinking about attachment was flawed. You showed us that love can be a source of strength, not just weakness. For this, and for your service to the Order, we wish to grant you the rank of Master. Anakin's reaction is complex. He has wanted this for so long. He has fought for it, resented being denied it. But now, when it's offered freely, he finds that it matters less than he thought. Master, he says carefully, I'm honored, but I accept this not as validation of my power or my skills. I accept it as a responsibility to help guide the Order into a new era, and I do so with conditions. I will not hide my marriage to Padme. I will not pretend to be someone I'm not. I will train Padawans in a new way, teaching them to understand their emotions, not to suppress them. And I will question decisions I disagree with, even if they come from this council. Yoda smiles, genuine pleasure in his ancient eyes. Accept your conditions, we do. Questions we want. Challenges we need. Honesty we require. A new path for the Jedi you will help forge, Master Skywalker. The promotion ceremony is simple and private. There are no grand proclamations. Anakin kneels, and Master Yoda places a hand on his head, offering a brief blessing. Rise, Master Skywalker. The word spreads through the temple. Anakin Skywalker is a Jedi Master. And more than that, he is married. His wife is Senator Padme Amidala. The revelation sends shockwaves through the Order, but not of outrage, of curiosity, of hope. If Anakin can be a Jedi and have a family, perhaps they can too. In the days that follow, several Jedi come forward with their own secret relationships. Some have been married for years. Others have children they've hidden. The Council, following its new policies, grants them all official recognition. The Jedi are learning to be honest with themselves and each other. One evening, Anakin finds himself in the temple gardens with Obi-Wan. His former master looks out over the Coruscant skyline, his expression thoughtful. "You've changed, Anakin. You seem more at peace than I've ever seen you." Anakin joins him at the railing. "I am. For so long, I was fighting myself, fighting my emotions, my fears, my attachments. The code told me to let go, but I couldn't. And that made me feel like I was failing, like I was broken somehow. But now I understand that feeling those things doesn't make me weak. It's what I do with those feelings that matters." Obi-Wan smiles. "I'm proud of you, my friend. You've grown into the Jedi I always hoped you would be. Not perfect, because perfection is impossible. Not without flaws, because we all have them, but genuine, true to yourself. That's what really matters." The two stand in comfortable silence, master and apprentice, friends and equals. Then Anakin speaks again. "Padme is pregnant with twins." Obi-Wan's eyes widen, then his smile broadens. "Congratulations, Anakin. That's wonderful news. Are you still having the visions? The ones about her dying?" Anakin nods slowly. "Sometimes, but I've learned to see them differently. They're not prophecies, they're fears. And I can acknowledge those fears without letting them control me. Whatever happens, I'll face it, but I won't let fear of the future destroy the present." Obi-Wan places a hand on his shoulder. "That's wisdom, Anakin. True wisdom. Master Qui-Gon would be proud. Speaking of which, how are things with Master Windu?" To Anakin's surprise, he finds himself laughing. "We actually talked. Really talked. He apologized for the Council's treatment of me over the years. Said they let their fear of my power blind them to who I really was. And I apologized for my arrogance, for assuming I deserved things I hadn't earned. We're not friends exactly, but there's respect there now. Understanding." That evening, Anakin returns to his apartment, which Padme has been slowly transforming into a real home. She's further along in her pregnancy now, her belly prominent beneath her flowing senatorial gowns. When she sees him, relief floods her features. "You're safe. Thank the Force. I've been watching the news all day. The reports about the Senate session, the systems declaring for Palpatine. It's terrifying. How bad is it?" Anakin holds her close, one hand resting on her belly, where he can feel the twins moving. "It's bad. The galaxy is splitting apart. Maybe a third of the systems have sided with Palpatine. Another third are trying to stay neutral, and the rest are with the Republic. We're looking at another war, Padme, a civil war that could last years." She pulls back to look at him, and he sees the same determination that made him fall in love with her. "Then we'll face it together. We've survived one war, we can survive another. But this time, we fight for the right reasons. Not for politics or power, but for the principles the Republic was founded on. Freedom, justice, democracy. They sit together on their couch, talking long into the night about the future, about the challenges ahead, about their children and what kind of galaxy they'll grow up in. For the first time in years, Anakin can imagine a future beyond constant battle, beyond fear and loss. He can imagine growing old with Padme, teaching their children, watching them grow, living a life of purpose and meaning. On Utapau, Obi-Wan Kenobi stands in a conference chamber facing the remnants of the Separatist Council. The meeting was difficult to arrange. The Separatists, learning that they had been manipulated by a Sith Lord, are divided and confused. Some want to continue fighting, believing the Republic is still their enemy. Others want to make peace but fear retribution for their role in the war. General Grievous is dead, killed during the battle. Count Dooku is dead, executed by Anakin. The leadership vacuum has left the Confederacy of Independent Systems in chaos. Obi-Wan presents evidence methodically. Recordings of Palpatine manipulating both sides. Financial records showing the Sith Lord funded the separatist movement while controlling the Republic. Communications proving he ordered attacks on both sides to prolong the war. Newt Gunray, the Neimoidian viceroy, is the first to speak. His voice trembles with a mixture of rage and despair. So we were pawns. All of this, the invasion of Naboo, the blockades, the battles, millions of dead, all orchestrated by this Sith Lord to gain power, we fought and died for nothing? Obi-Wan shakes his head. No, Viceroy, you didn't fight for nothing. The grievances that led to the separatist movement were real. The Republic was corrupt, bureaucratic, unresponsive to the needs of Outer Rim systems. Corporate interests did dominate Senate policy. Your complaints were legitimate. Palpatine didn't create those problems. He simply exploited them to start a war that served his purposes. San Hill, the chairman of the Intergalactic Banking Clan, leans forward. And what does the Republic propose now? That we simply surrender? Accept responsibility for a war we didn't start? That we face trial for treason when we were manipulated? Obi-Wan strokes his beard thoughtfully. No, we're proposing something different. An end to the war, yes, but not through conquest. Through negotiation and reform. The room falls silent as the separatist leaders consider this. Poe Nudo, the senator from Ando, speaks carefully. What kind of reforms? Obi-Wan pulls up a document on the central holo display. The Republic Senate has drafted what they're calling the Articles of Reformation. A new constitution that addresses many of the issues that led to the separatist movement. Representation will be reformed to give more voice to Outer Rim and Mid-Rim systems. Corporate influence in the Senate will be curtailed through strict regulations. Systems will have greater autonomy in managing their own affairs. Emergency powers will be limited and subject to immediate review. And, most importantly, there will be a truth and reconciliation process rather than war crimes trials. He pauses, letting this sink in. We're not saying there won't be accountability. Those who committed atrocities on both sides will face justice. But the vast majority of separatists who fought for what they believed in will be granted amnesty. You can rejoin the Republic, or you can remain independent if you prefer. The choice is yours. Wat Tambor, the foreman of the Techno-Union, expresses skepticism. And why should we trust the Republic? Even with these reforms, what's to stop them from reverting to their old ways once the crisis is over? That is a fair question, Obi-Wan admits. I cannot guarantee the Republic won't fail again. Democracy is messy, imperfect, and prone to corruption. But the alternative, accepting Palpatine's empire, means giving up any pretense of freedom or justice. He offers order at the cost of everything else. At least with the Republic, you have a chance to shape your own future. The debate continues for days. Jedi mediators, including Obi-Wan, Plo Koon, and Aayla Secura, work with separatist leaders to hammer out the details of a ceasefire and eventual peace treaty. The negotiations are tense and often contentious. There are walkouts, accusations, moments where it seems the whole process will collapse. But slowly, an agreement takes shape. The separatist military will stand down, though they will not immediately disband. A demilitarized zone will be established between Republic and former separatist space. War crimes trials will be conducted by neutral parties with equal representation from both sides. Systems will have the right to rejoin the Republic, remain independent, or even join Palpatine's empire if they choose. The Republic agrees to immediately implement the Articles of Reformation, with separatist representatives included in the process. When the treaty is finally signed, it is broadcast across the galaxy. The Clone Wars are officially over, not with a victory for either side, but with a negotiated peace that acknowledges the failures of both. The reaction is mixed. Some celebrate the end of the war. Others feel betrayed that there was no clear winner, no punishment for the enemy. But most beings are simply relieved that the fighting has stopped. On Coruscant, Padme works tirelessly on the implementation of the Articles of Reformation. She chairs a committee that includes Bail Organa, Mon Mothma, and surprisingly, some former separatist senators who have chosen to rejoin the Republic. The work is tedious and often frustrating. Every word of the new constitution is debated. Every provision is challenged by someone with a vested interest in maintaining the old system. Corporate lobbyists pressure senators to water down regulations. Systems that benefited from the old representation system resist reforms that would diminish their influence. And always, in the background, is the threat of Palpatine's empire. The Emperor, as he now openly calls himself, uses propaganda masterfully. His message is simple and seductive. The Republic is weak, divided, and corrupt. It failed to prevent a war that killed billions. It failed to stop a Sith Lord from taking control. It cannot even agree on basic reforms without endless debate and compromise. The Empire offers something better: order, security, efficiency. Join us, and you'll be protected. Resist, and you'll be left to face chaos alone. The propaganda finds fertile ground in systems devastated by the war, in populations tired of fighting, in beings who value security over freedom. One by one, systems declare for the Empire. Some do so enthusiastically, believing in Palpatine's vision. Others do so pragmatically, sensing which way the winds are blowing. Still others do so out of fear, knowing that Palpatine's forces are strong and nearby. The galaxy settles into an uneasy Cold War. The Republic controls perhaps 40% of the known systems. Concentrated in the core worlds and parts of the mid-rim, the Empire controls about 30%, primarily in the deep core and outer rim territories. The remaining 30% are independent or aligned with neither side, trying to avoid being drawn into another conflict. Border skirmishes are common. Imperial forces probe Republic defenses, testing their strength. Republic forces conduct raids on Imperial supply lines. Both sides engage in espionage, propaganda, and proxy wars in neutral systems. But neither side wants full-scale war. The Republic is exhausted from the Clone Wars. The Empire is not yet strong enough to challenge the Republic directly, so they watch each other, build their forces, and prepare for the conflict both know is inevitable. Months pass. Padmé's pregnancy progresses, and as her due date approaches, Anakin's anxiety increases. Despite his best efforts to remain calm, the visions have not stopped entirely, though they've become less frequent and less vivid. On the day Padmé goes into labor, Anakin is in the middle of a training session with a group of young Padawans when he feels it through their bond. He immediately stops, apologizes to his students, and rushes to the medical facility. The facility is state-of-the-art, with the best medical droids and human doctors the Republic can provide. Clone troopers loyal to Anakin stand guard outside, ensuring complete security. Obi-Wan is already there, having sensed through the Force that something important was happening. He sits in the waiting area, reading a datapad and projecting an aura of perfect calm. Anakin paces back and forth, his anxiety bleeding into the Force. Obi-Wan looks up with a slight smile. Anakin, you need to center yourself. You're broadcasting your fear to everyone in the building. I know. Anakin runs a hand through his hair. But what if something goes wrong? What if the visions were right? Obi-Wan sets down his datapad. Anakin, I've known you for over a decade. I've watched you face impossible odds without hesitation. I've seen you stare down Sith Lords and armies. But right now, you're more afraid than I've ever seen you. Why? Because this is different. Anakin stops pacing and looks at his former master. In battle, I can do something. I can fight. I can act. I can change the outcome. But here, I'm helpless. I can't protect Padmé from this. I can't use the Force to make it better. All I can do is wait and hope. Obi-Wan stands and places both hands on Anakin's shoulders. Then wait and hope. Trust in Padmé's strength. Trust in the medical team. Trust in the Force. Everything that can be done is being done. Your fear doesn't help anyone, least of all, Padmé. Now sit down and meditate with me. Together, they sit and enter a meditative state. Anakin reaches out through the Force, feeling for Padmé. She is in pain. Yes, but there's no danger. She's strong, fighting through the labor with determination and courage. Hours pass. Finally, a medical droid emerges from the birthing chamber. Senator Amidala has given birth to healthy twins, a boy and a girl, both strong in the Force. Mother and children are doing well. You may see them now. Anakin nearly runs to the room. Inside, Padmé lies in the medical bed, exhausted but radiant. Her hair is damp with sweat, her face flushed, but she's smiling, and in her arms, wrapped in soft blankets, are two tiny beings. Anakin approaches slowly, almost reverently. His hands tremble as he reaches out to touch them. "They're perfect," he whispers. Padme adjusts the babies so he can see them better. Meet Luke and Leia Skywalker. Anakin looks down at his children. Luke has Anakin's features, his nose and chin, but Padme's eyes. Leia has Padme's face, but Anakin's intense gaze. Both are beautiful, both are perfect, and both are blazing with Force potential. He can feel it even now. Their presence in the Force, like two small stars. "Can I hold them?" Padme carefully transfers the babies to Anakin's arms. He cradles them gently, terrified of hurting such fragile beings. Luke grasps his finger with surprising strength. Leia's eyes open, and for a moment, father and daughter simply stare at each other. "I promise I'll protect you," Anakin says softly. "Both of you. I'll give you a better galaxy than the one I inherited. I'll teach you to be strong and wise and compassionate, and I'll love you for as long as I live." Obi-Wan appears in the doorway, and Padme waves him in. He approaches the bed, looking down at the twins with wonder. "They're strong in the Force," Obi-Wan observes. "I can feel it. Even from here, they'll be powerful Jedi one day, if they choose that path." "If they choose," Anakin emphasizes. "I won't force them into anything. They'll make their own decisions about what they want to be." "As it should be," Obi-Wan agrees. In the Jedi Temple, Master Yoda sits in his meditation chamber, reaching out through the Force. He feels the birth of the twins, their presence bright and pure. He sees possible futures branching out like a tree. In some, the Skywalker twins bring true balance to the Force, healing the wounds of generations. In others, they fall to darkness, becoming more terrible than their father might have been. In still others, they live ordinary lives, never fully embracing their Force potential. "The future is always in motion," Yoda reminds himself. "What matters is not what might be, but what is. And what is, right now, is hope. Hope that the Jedi can reform. Hope that the Republic can heal. Hope that Anakin Skywalker, once so close to falling, can raise his children in the light. Hope is enough for now." Years pass. The Cold War between the Republic and the Empire continues, but it remains cold. Border skirmishes happen, but no major battles. Both sides build their strength, but neither makes a decisive move. Luke and Leia grow from infants to toddlers to children. They display remarkable Force sensitivity early on. By age 3, they're moving objects with the Force. By age 5, they're sensing emotions and occasionally communicating telepathically with each other. Anakin trains them gently, never pushing, always patient. He teaches them that the Force is a gift, not a burden. That power comes with responsibility. That strength means being able to protect those who can't protect themselves. He tells them stories of the Clone Wars, but frames them as cautionary tales about the cost of war and the importance of choosing peace when possible. Padme teaches them about democracy, justice, and compassion. She takes them to Senate sessions when appropriate, showing them how laws are made and how different voices contribute to decisions. She teaches them that disagreement is not the same as enmity, that people can oppose each other's ideas while respecting each other as beings. On Luke and Leia's 13th birthday, Anakin takes them on a journey. First, to Tatooine, to show them where he came from. They stand in the ruins of Mos Espa, looking out at the endless desert. "I grew up here," Anakin tells them, "a slave. I thought I would die here, never knowing there was something more. But Qui-Gon Jinn found me and gave me a chance. That chance changed everything." Luke, always the more contemplative of the twins, asks, "Do you miss it?" Anakin laughs. "The heat? The sand? The slavery? No, but I miss the simplicity sometimes. Here, things were clear. You survived, or you didn't. There were no politics, no prophecies, no weight of expectations. Just the next day, the next challenge." Leia, more direct and fierce, understands immediately. "You're saying that having power means having responsibility, that we can't just live simple lives because we're capable of more." "Exactly," Anakin confirms. "You two are powerful in the Force. More powerful than I was at your age. You'll be expected to do great things, but never forget that you're also just people. Just kids who deserve to have fun. Make mistakes, live your own lives." They visit Shmi Skywalker's grave, marked with a simple stone. Anakin kneels before it, and the twins stand respectfully behind him. "Your grandmother was a good person," he tells them. "Strong, kind, hopeful, even in the worst circumstances. I wish you could have known her." Then they travel to Naboo to show them Padmé's homeworld. The rolling green hills and beautiful architecture are a stark contrast to Tatooine's desolation. Here, they meet Padmé's family, the Naberis, who dote on the twins. Sola Naberi's daughters, Ryu and Pooja, are older than Luke and Leia, but become fast friends with their cousins. The family welcomes the twins warmly, and for a few days, they experience what it's like to be part of a large, loving family. Finally, Anakin takes them to the Jedi Temple on Coruscant for their formal training evaluation. Both Luke and Leia have been learning from their father. But at 13, it's time for them to decide if they want to fully commit to the Jedi path. The temple has changed significantly since Anakin's youth. It's no longer a fortress of rigid rules and suppressed emotions. Young Jedi laugh in the corridors. Families visit to see their children. There's a sense of warmth and life that was absent before. Master Yoda, now even older but still sharp, meets with Luke and Leia personally. "Powerful you are, young Skywalkers. But power alone, a Jedi does not make. Tell me, why wish to become Jedi? Do you?" Leia speaks first, her voice confident. "Because I want to help people. I see suffering in the galaxy, and I have the power to reduce it. That seems like a responsibility I can't ignore." Luke adds more softly, "Because I feel the Force calling to me. It's like a song I can't quite hear, but that I know is there. I want to understand it, to learn what it means to be part of something so much bigger than myself." Yoda nods approvingly. "Good answers. These are different, but both true. Leia, a guardian you wish to be. Luke, a seeker. Both paths, valid they are. Both needed, the Order has." The twins begin their formal training, splitting their time between the temple and their home with Padmé. It's a balance that the old order would never have allowed, but the new one embraces. Anakin works with them personally, alongside other masters who contribute different perspectives and skills. Luke gravitates toward healing and diplomacy. He has his father's force power, but his mother's temperament, seeking to understand rather than confront. He excels at sensing others' emotions and often serves as a mediator in disputes among the younglings. Leia inherits her mother's political mind and her father's intensity. She's drawn to the more active aspects of being a Jedi, to lightsaber combat and protecting others. But she also spends time with Padme in the Senate, learning statecraft and the art of persuasion. On Biss, Darth Sidious watches the galaxy through the dark side of the Force. His body has aged further, the damage from the lightning and his fall never fully healing. But his work in the cloning facilities is finally bearing fruit. The scientists have successfully created stable clones that can survive for months, then years. The final step, transferring consciousness, remains elusive but is getting closer. His Inquisitors continue their work, hunting down Jedi who refuse to join the New Order or who were isolated during the chaos. Some Jedi are killed, others are captured and turned to the dark side. The Inquisitorius grows in numbers and power. The Imperial military expands as well. Star destroyers roll off production lines in secret shipyards. Stormtrooper academies train a new generation of soldiers, indoctrinated in Imperial ideology. Weapons research continues on projects like the Death Star. Though progress is slow, without the resources of the full galaxy at Palpatine's disposal. And always, the Emperor plans. He knows he cannot defeat the Republic through military force alone. Not yet. But he can undermine it through espionage, propaganda, and subtle manipulation. His agents work tirelessly to sow discord in Republic systems, to fund opposition movements, to assassinate key leaders. It's a long game, but Palpatine is patient. Years become a decade. Luke and Leia grow into young adults. At age 19, they're both skilled Jedi, though their paths remain different. Luke is known as a healer and teacher, working with younglings and helping war survivors cope with trauma. Leia splits her time between the Jedi and politics, having been elected as a senator from Naboo to follow in her mother's footsteps. Anakin, now in his early 40s, has become one of the most respected Jedi Masters. He sits on the Coruscant Council and has trained multiple Padawans to knighthood. His marriage to Padme is seen not as a scandal, but as an example of how Jedi can balance personal relationships with their duties. Padme, still serving in the Senate, has become one of the leading voices for reform and reconciliation. She travels throughout Republic space, working to strengthen democratic institutions and resist Imperial influence. She and Bail Organa co-lead a coalition of senators committed to preserving the Articles of Reformation against those who would chip away at them. Obi-Wan, having taken a position as a roving Jedi diplomat, works to maintain the peace between the Republic and independent systems. He's often on the border between Republic and Imperial space, mediating disputes and trying to prevent the Cold War from turning hot. On a mission to a contested world in the Mid-Rim, Obi-Wan encounters an Imperial Inquisitor for the first time. The Inquisitor, the fifth brother, is hunting a Force-sensitive child that the local family is trying to hide. Obi-Wan intervenes, his blue lightsaber clashing with the Inquisitor's red double-bladed spinning weapon. The fifth brother is powerful and brutal, but Obi-Wan's experience and skill prevail. After an intense duel across the rooftops of the planet's capital city, Obi-Wan disarms the Inquisitor and holds his blade to the man's throat. But he doesn't kill him. Instead, Obi-Wan sees something in the Force, a fragment of the man the Inquisitor once was beneath the layers of dark side corruption. "You don't have to serve him," Obi-Wan says. "I can feel the conflict in you. The Empire has twisted you, but you're not beyond redemption." The fifth brother laughs bitterly. "You know nothing, Jedi. The Emperor's power is absolute. He sees everything, knows everything. If I betray him, I die. If I fail him, I die. There is no escape, but there is." Obi-Wan insists. "The Jedi can protect you. We can help you find your way back to the light." For a moment, just a moment, something flickers in the Inquisitor's eyes. Hope? Fear? But then it's gone, replaced by resignation. "You're too late, Jedi. I'm already damned." The fifth brother activates a hidden device, and an explosion rocks the rooftop. When the smoke clears, the Inquisitor is gone, escaped into the city. Obi-Wan rescues the Force-sensitive child and their family, helping them relocate to a safe world in Republic space. But the encounter troubles him. The Inquisitors are more than just dark side users. They're broken beings, twisted by torture and manipulation. How many of them could be saved if given the chance? He reports his findings to the Council, and a debate ensues. Should the Jedi try to redeem the Inquisitors, or should they be treated as enemies to be defeated? The question has no easy answer. On Coruscant, Anakin receives an unexpected visitor. A woman in a hooded cloak appears at his apartment door late one night. When she lowers her hood, he recognizes her immediately. Ahsoka Tano, his former Padawan, who left the Order years ago and has been traveling the galaxy ever since. Anakin pulls her into a tight hug. "Ahsoka, it's been so long. I've tried to find you, to reach out, but you were always one step ahead." She hugs him back, and he can feel through the Force how much she's changed. She's older, wiser, carrying the weight of experiences he can only guess at. "I'm sorry, Sky Guy. I needed time to figure out who I was beyond the Jedi. But I've been following the news. I heard about the reforms, about what you and the Council are trying to do. I wanted to see for myself if it was real." "It's real," Anakin confirms, leading her inside. "We're not perfect, and we still have a long way to go, but we're trying to build something better. The Jedi Order that failed you, that failed me, that's gone. We're something new now." They talk late into the night. Ahsoka tells him about her travels, about the people she's helped, about her own understanding of the Force that has evolved beyond traditional Jedi teaching. She's not light or dark, but something in between, drawing on both but being controlled by neither. "I'm not sure I want to rejoin the Order," she admits, "but I want to help. The Empire is a threat to everything we care about. Palpatine needs to be stopped." "You don't have to be a Jedi to stand with us," Anakin says. "We need allies, friends, people who believe in justice even if they don't follow our path. Will you work with us?" Ahsoka smiles. "I thought you'd never ask." She becomes an unofficial Jedi agent, working on missions too sensitive or morally ambiguous for traditional Jedi. She operates in the shadows, gathering intelligence, rescuing Force sensitives from Imperial territory, and occasionally confronting Inquisitors. On a mission to an Imperial stronghold, Ahsoka encounters the Grand Inquisitor himself. The former Jedi recognizes her immediately. Ahsoka Tano, I remember you. A promising Padawan, cast out by the Order, you now serve. We're not so different, you and I. Both betrayed by the Jedi. Both forced to find our own path. Ahsoka ignites her white lightsabers, weapons she forged from kyber crystals purified of the dark side. We're nothing alike. You chose to embrace hatred and serve a tyrant. I chose to find my own way in the light. The duel is fierce. The Grand Inquisitor is skilled and ruthless, his double-bladed spinning lightsaber a deadly blur. But Ahsoka is faster, more agile, and fighting for something beyond herself. She presses him hard, driving him back through the corridors of the Imperial base. In the end, she doesn't kill him. Instead, she damages his weapon and escapes with the prisoners she came to rescue, leaving the Grand Inquisitor alive to face the Emperor's wrath for his failure. The incident draws Palpatine's personal attention. He summons the Grand Inquisitor to Biss, and the confrontation is brutal. The Emperor tortures his servant with Force lightning, reminding him of the cost of failure. But he also sees an opportunity. If Ahsoka Tano can be turned, if the one who rejected the Jedi can be brought to the dark side, it would be a tremendous propaganda victory. The Grand Inquisitor is given a new mission: capture Ahsoka Tano alive. The hunt begins, setting the stage for a confrontation that will test Ahsoka's resolve and her understanding of the Force. Meanwhile, on the frontier between Republic and Imperial space, tensions escalate. A Republic merchant convoy is destroyed by Imperial forces. The Republic retaliates by striking an Imperial military depot. Back and forth it goes, each side trying to hurt the other without triggering full-scale war. Anakin, serving as a Jedi diplomat, travels to a neutral system to meet with an Imperial representative. To his shock, the representative is someone he knows. It's Tarkin, now a Grand Moff in the Imperial military. The two men face each other across a negotiating table. Skywalker, Tarkin says coldly, I see the Jedi have promoted you. Congratulations on your ascension to Master. I always knew you had the ambition for it, and I see you found your place in the Empire. Anakin responds. Tell me, Tarkin, do you actually believe in Palpatine's vision? Or are you just opportunistic enough to serve whoever offers you power? Tarkin doesn't rise to the bait. I believe in order, Skywalker. The Republic had 1,000 years to bring stability to the galaxy and failed. The Empire will succeed where you failed. The negotiations go nowhere. Both sides make demands the other won't accept. But the meeting serves its purpose, allowing each side to assess the other's strength and resolve. When Anakin returns to Coruscant, he reports to the Council. War is coming, he tells them. Maybe not today or tomorrow, but it's inevitable. The Empire is growing stronger. Palpatine is patient, but he won't wait forever. We need to prepare. The Council agrees. Plans are made to strengthen Republic defenses, to forge alliances with neutral systems, to train more Jedi for the conflicts ahead. But even as they prepare for war, they don't lose sight of their mission to be different from the Jedi who came before. They continue to focus on being guardians, teachers, and healers, not just warriors. On the eve of Luke and Leia's 20th birthday, the entire family gathers in Anakin and Padme's apartment. Obi-Wan is there, as are Ahsoka, Bail Organa, Mon Mothma, and several other close friends and allies. It's a rare moment of peace and celebration in a galaxy still teetering on the edge of another war. Anakin looks around at the assembled group, at his wife, his children, his friends, and feels a profound sense of gratitude. Years ago, he stood at a crossroads. He could have chosen fear, could have grasped a dark power, in a desperate attempt to control the future. Instead, he chose love. He chose trust. He chose the light. And that choice led to this: a family, a life of purpose and hope for the future. The galaxy is still divided. Palpatine still plots from Biss. The Cold War still threatens to turn hot. There are still threats unknown and dangers yet to face. But for tonight, there is peace, there is joy, there is love, and that is enough. As the evening winds down and guests begin to leave, Luke and Leia find themselves alone with their parents on the apartment balcony. The Coruscant skyline stretches before them, endless and luminous. "Do you think we'll have to fight him?" Luke asks. "The Emperor, I mean. Will we have to face him someday?" Anakin considers his answer carefully. "I don't know. Palpatine is patient and cunning. He might wait until he thinks he has an overwhelming advantage, or he might strike when we least expect it. But whatever happens, we'll face it together." Leia looks at her father. "You chose not to join him. You could have had power, could have saved Mom from your visions. Do you ever regret that choice?" "Never," Anakin says firmly. "I chose your mother, chose you too, chose the light, and I would make that choice again every single day. Power gained through fear and hatred is no power at all. It's a prison. Real strength comes from love, from connection, from choosing to do what's right, even when it's hard." Padme joins them, wrapping an arm around Anakin. "Your father is right. We don't know what the future holds, but we face it together as a family. And whatever happens, we'll face it with hope." The four of them stand together, looking out at the galaxy they fought to protect. Order 66 failed. The Jedi survived. The Republic, though scarred and diminished, endures. And the Skywalker family stands as a symbol of what can happen when someone chooses light over darkness, love over fear, hope over despair. The story is not over. Challenges lie ahead. The Empire grows stronger with each passing year. Palpatine's cloning experiments edge closer to success. The Inquisitors hunt Force sensitives across the galaxy. Border conflicts escalate. Neutral systems are forced to choose sides. The Cold War strains toward inevitable eruption. But for now, in this moment, there is peace. And in a galaxy that has known so much war, so much suffering, so much loss, that peace is precious beyond measure. That's our theory. The Star Wars universe is a galaxy filled with exciting stories and possibilities, and we love exploring them. If you want to accompany us on this journey to a galaxy far, far away, then please like, share, and subscribe to our channel.